Play that one. Play that one.
What's up, my Zoe babies? Yeah, I gotta get used to that. What's up, my Zoe babies? It's your girl Tempthaitian. I'm back with another video. If you're new, welcome. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe, because temptation is just irresistible, period. So today's a story time. This story time is about my 2.5 year long period. No cap. I wish I was still in contact with I'm still in contact with one of my exes, but I don't really want to do all that. I don't feel like I need to prove that I had a 2.5 year long period. It's possible, baby. It's possible. If you have a hormone imbalance, progesterone is what the hormone that causes you to bleed or, commences your period. So if you have more progesterone than estrogen, you're gonna bleed. And that's what I had. I had a hormone imbalance because of the birth control I was on. So rewind back to when I was 16 or 17. I think I had just turned 17. I was 17. I had been 17. This was the summer before I left for college, or the spring before I had left for college. This was before I graduated. The spring before I had left for college. I just was thinking about the fact that I was going to college out of state. I had already gotten my acceptance letter to Howard. Howard was my dream school. I was dead set I'm going to school out of state. I just wanted to be responsible. If you see me looking down, it's because I wrote down what I was gonna say. I was dead set I'm going to Howard. It's my favorite pen. And I was just scared, even though I was in a long distance relationship, I was in a 4-year long distance relationship. It was probably 3 years for us when I had graduated. So I was like, we're gonna have more. I was already traveling out of state to go see him. I was like, I'm gonna have more freedom. I'm gonna be seeing him, and we're probably gonna have sex, whatever. So I was like, let me just be responsible because, I didn't want any mishaps happening, and I didn't want to have to be pregnant at that age. So I was like, you know what? Even though we're gonna be using condoms, I don't want to have to deal with a pregnancy scare. So, I'm dumb. I wrote it down and I'm like, whatever. Anyways, so in Massachusetts, it's legal for you to get your birth control without your parents' permission. So I definitely got on birth control. My mom did find out. I don't know if I should do a story time on that. Oh, I'm gonna do a story time on that. So I had gotten Nexplanon. That's the birth control you get in your arm. I had it in this arm. I definitely still have the scar. Am I gonna show y'all the scar?
I'm not gonna do all that.
I'm not gonna do all that. But I had it in this arm, and that birth control typically lasts 3 years. You have to get it changed out every 3 years. So I got it in Boston. Keep that in mind. So the first year I had it, it was okay. It technically is a surgical insertion, but the way it went was, it's kind of like they inserted a needle and injected the Nexplanon through the needle into my arm, and then removed the needle and put some gauze and put a bandage over my arm. Once that was said and done, the first year was pretty alright. I had went to college, did my thug thizzle. Everything was okay, physically and sexually. The second and third year, I had noticed I was like a lot more tired, and this is outside of the fact that I was working a lot. And I was working out, but I had always been doing that before. So I didn't really think that had anything to do with my fatigue. I used to be so tired to the point where I was like falling asleep in class. I couldn't wake up to go to class. I would fall asleep on the wheel when I was driving. That was when I was still in Boston, because I was not driving my freshman year. I started driving in DC my sophomore year, but I was still like not able to go to class and stuff. So on starting on the second year into the third year, I had noticed like I had spotting and sometimes like actual periods that would not stop. And it kind of got in the way of my sex life. It got in the way of my sex life. So he had no problem with the spotting. He had no problem with that, which was okay. So my sex life was still active. It was still good, but it was still uncomfortable. Like, you know how many panty liners you have to go through, how many tampons, how many pads, like that gets expensive over a while. Like if you have it every day. Once a month, it's not that bad, but when you have it every day, like it does add up, and you have to keep switching it out, keep switching it out. It was just too much. It was too much for me, and laundry was a problem. I had to throw away a lot of clothes that I couldn't get stains out of. I did not wear certain colors. Definitely, I did not wear certain colors. I never bought nice underwear because I just knew they would never last. Say hey, baby.
This is my daughter.
So I did keep it in until the third year because when I originally went to go see if I could get it taken out, I had gotten turned away because they said,
well, you got it put in Boston, so get it done in Boston.
I said no. I want to take it out here because I live here in the DMV. I was so upset. So I found I think that was at, what was that at? I think that was at Howard where they said no, that they don't do that and to get it done in Boston. And I was just like, but my insurance is with Howard. That doesn't make any sense for me to go to Boston. So I just went to another facility that took Howard's insurance, because Howard's insurance went through, I forgot the company, but whatever, it doesn't matter. I went to another place that took our insurance, and yeah, they took it out for me. So even though they took it out, I was still bleeding because I still had a hormone imbalance from it. It is like mostly progesterone. And oh, I forgot to mention, before I had gotten taken out, I did like have to keep going to the doctors about the hormone imbalance because it was an issue. So what they would do is they would give me estrogen patches, and the estrogen patches weren't doing nothing, sister. They were doing nothing. I mean, they like made it, they made the flow lighter, but they did not stop the bleeding. So I did not stop bleeding after I got the Nexplanon taken out. So I had to go back and get an IUD. And I remember my sister was like, why would you get an IUD? You don't even have kids. That's not something you should get if you've never had kids before. But she must have forgotten, like, I had a hormone imbalance for the past 3 years and I was bleeding every day, yada, yada, yada. But I didn't really want to, I don't really like talking about my you know, just my medical stuff. I don't like talking about that with everybody. So whatever, I didn't really talk about it. I just said I was getting an IUD, and I had gotten the IUD, and luckily the IUD had stopped the bleeding. Now let me mention something else. While I was on Nexplanon, I was eating a lot of junk food, right? But I had gained 30 pounds between the second and third year where I was bleeding every day. So I don't know if the hormone imbalance had something to contribute to that. But when I got on the IUD, I did lose about 15 pounds in the first 2 months. And then I started my vegan diet that like 3 months after taking out the birth control. And 6 months later, I had lost about 40 pounds total. I lost 40 pounds total. So, and that was interesting. So that is my story about my 2.5 year period. It was so gross, y'all. Like, but I'm glad I'm like clean because, I would make sure I would take at least 2 to 3 showers a day. But that used to get in the way because um, not a lot of soaps work for me. And I'm not from out here, and being going to Howard, and working 2 to 3 jobs, you don't really have time to go to store or look online to see if there's like actual organic products that will work for my skin. So, I was just like, whatever soap I got, I showered with. So I used to have eczema and stuff, but from taking a shower so many times with those soaps, it was just so many things, girl. But I figured it out, and it worked out in the end. And I would have to say the IUD was my favorite birth control, my favorite contraception. However, when I did get I had decided to get it taken out like a year later because I just I didn't like the stories I was hearing about women experiencing toxic shock and the IUD puncturing uteruses, and um, women not being able to have children if they haven't had children before on the IUD. Um, I had the which IUD did I have? I had the plastic one, and what was the name of it? I don't remember the name, y'all. I'm sorry. It was so long ago. It was so long ago, but it was supposed to last 3 to 5 years, and I took it out on the first year of having. After the first year of having it, it was nice. Um, my doctor was really nice too. He said I can go back and get it put back in whenever, so that's convenient. But I don't think I need it right now. But what's funny is, a year after taking it out, I did get pregnant. So that's gonna be my next story time. Stay tuned, sister. Stay tuned. I'll see y'all next time.